Today our lesson is on 11.5 area of triangles. This past Friday we did area of parallelograms. Very good job. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be very similar to what we learned on Friday, but it's a different shape. There's a few things that I do want you to learn and to memorize. The first thing is we're going to talk about the base. Read to me what it says the base is.
The length of any one of the sides.
The length of any one of the sides.
The length of any one of the sides. When we think about a base, a lot of times we think it's on the what?
The bottom.
On the bottom, okay? It just kind of seems like, okay, the base would be toward the bottom. But in this case, this right here could also be the base, okay? So if this right here was the base, do you think this would still be the height?
Yes.
Read to me what the height says.
Forms a right angle. Oh, wait, no. Sorry.
It forms the right angle with the base. So if that right there was the base, then our height would be totally different. It would have to start something like that, and then it would have a different right angle, okay? But with the base, just know it doesn't have to be at the bottom. It can be the length of any one of the sides. There's a new formula that we're going to memorize for this. Read to me what the formula is. A equals 1/2 times base times height. 1 week from today, we're going to have a quiz, and it's going to be over lots of different shapes. And one thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have memorized all of the formulas. We talked about a different formula for the area of a parallelogram. What was that formula? Okay, area equals base times height. What's the difference between this one with the parallelogram and this one with the triangle? You only have to multiply it times 1/2, okay? So those are the first two formulas that you're going to want to have memorized. For this first example, it's asking us to find the area of the triangle. I put something in red. It says your answers are always going to be units squared. Remember, you're only going to square the units whenever it asks you for the area. Not if it asks you for a base or a height or a perimeter. It's only when it asks you for an area that you want to always remember to square the units. First triangle we have here, we got to start off with our formula. What's the formula for area of a triangle?
A equals 1/2 times base times height.
Okay, everyone say it together. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. Okay, say it one more time. Area equals
1/2 times base times height.
Excellent. All right, so here's what I found on the last test. Tons of people are having a problem with lining up their equal sign and not knowing what goes on the left side or the right side. So I want you to pull out your red pen. Everybody drop down the equal sign, okay? Just the equal sign in red, and I think this will help us to understand. There's some things that go on the left and some things that go on the right, and they have to stay on their correct side of the equal sign, okay? The A, we are looking for the A, so we're going to just drop it down. Now I'm going to drop down my 1/2. What is my base? 231 feet. Okay, you can see, yes, it is at the bottom, but it's down here underneath where that right angle is, okay? Next up, what's my height? 111 feet. Okay, once again, use your red pen and drop down your equal sign. I want you to understand, is there any work that I can do on the left side right now? No. So what should I do to the left side?
Bring it down.
Just bring down the A. Is there any work that I can do on the right side?
Yes.
Yes, so I want you to go ahead and multiply those together. Michael, when you multiply all those together, what do you get?
I got this.
12,820.5.
Okay, 12,820.5. And now what would my units be, Michael?
Feet squared,
Feet squared. Why do you have to square that?
because you're multiplying
Not just because you're multiplying, because you're finding the what?
the area.
The area. Anytime you're finding the area, you always have to square the units, okay? Does that make sense to you guys, how we just found the area of the triangle?
Yes.
All right, let's do one more example. Problem B, we've still got the same exact instructions, and remember, each time you will always start with your formula. So guys, say it together. What's the area of a triangle's formula?
A equals 1/2 times base times height.
Good job. Area equals 1/2 times base times height. Emma, do I know my area yet?
No.
Not yet. Drop down your equal sign. Okay, so I'm going to just keep the A there. Emma, keep going. Do I know my base?
Yes.
What is it?
Wait. That'd be 11.
11, good job. Do I know my height?
Yes.
What is it?
7 centimeters.
Very good, okay. I still don't know the area yet, so I'm dropping down my equal sign. And then we know, just drop down the A because there's no work that I can do over there on that side. Is there any work I can do on the right side? Yes, I can multiply half times 11 times 7. Alex, when you do that, what do you get?
37.5.
Not 37.5.
38.5.
38.5. And Alan, Alex, what would my units be?
38.5 centimeters squared.
Why did you square your centimeters?
Because it says so.
When
Oh,
do we
it's the
square
area.
it? Because you're finding the area, and every time that you find the area, you must always square the units. Number 2 is a little bit different than what we've done for the first couple examples because this one is asking us to find the unknown base or height of the triangle. So this starts off with giving us the area, and then we have to fill in one of the other missing pieces. Because of this, though, we still know that we are dealing with the area and a base and a height. So we know just by looking at those 3 things, we're going to use the formula for finding the area of a triangle. So let's say it together. What's the formula for an area of a triangle?
A equals 1/2 times base times height.
Good job. Say it one more time together. A equals 1/2 times base times height. Once again, with your red pen, drop down your equal sign. This is where the biggest problems have happened that I have seen a lot of people are forgetting. Certain things have to go on the left-hand side and certain things have to go on the right-hand side, okay? Carlos, do I know what my area is yet? Yes, I do. What is it?
35 centimeters squared.
35 centimeters squared. So instead of having an A right there, I'm dropping down a 35, okay? Next up, I will drop down this half first. And then, Gabby, does it tell me what the base is? No. This is also key and important because I don't know the base. You have to drop down the B. A lot of times I'm finding that people just choose to make that disappear. You cannot let it disappear. You have to drop down what you don't know. Asia, do we know our height? What is it? 10. Okay, so let's go ahead and put down 10 here next to it. Next up, very important, I want everyone in your red pen, drop down the equal sign. Next up, is there any work I can do to the left of the equal sign? No, so what should I do with my 35?
Drop down.
Just drop it down, don't do anything else. Is there any work I can do on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Yes, Isabel, what is it?
You can do 1/2 times 10.
I can do half times 10. What is half of 10, guys?
5.
5. Listen, this is what tons of people have done. Looking at what I just did right there, what have I forgotten to drop down?
The equal sign.
B.
Like,
The B. Guys, you cannot just let this B disappear. Drop the B down also. Whenever we have a problem like this, what's my entire goal?
to get B by itself.
To get the variable by itself. So in this case, I want to get B alone. This little 5 is not allowing it to be there. On the quiz and test, tons of people at this point said, let's get rid of it, so let's subtract 5 on both sides. Is that correct? Why can I not subtract it?
You're not having like a positive 5 plus B or...
If you remember, we got to do inverse operations. Whenever you have a number next to a letter, you're multiplying it together. What's the opposite of multiply? Divide. Okay, simple mistake to make, but at this point, you should not be making that mistake any longer because we've done so many examples. So let's divide by 5 on both sides. And what do we get? 7. Okay, so now I got to go back and see. I am looking for my base. Should I square my units? No, only when you're finding area. Okay, we're not finding the area. It's asked me to find the base. So what are my units?
7 centimeters.
It's only 7 centimeters. Okay, not 7 centimeters squared, just 7 centimeters. Okay, does that make sense? Problem B is another example very similar to that one. I want you guys to go ahead and try this on your own for me, please. When you're doing it, you always want to start with your formula, A equals, and we know we're still trying to find the formula of a triangle, A equals half times base times height. Okay, as I walked around, I saw a lot of people doing an excellent job. Okay, we dropped down that equal sign, and we know the A because it says right here the area is 61.6 meters squared. So you just dropped that in there. Half times, what's my base?
11.
11. What's my height? We don't know it yet, okay? Once again, you drop down your equal sign. 61.6 has to stay the same. What's half of 11? 5.5. You want the h by itself, so you have to divide by what?
5.5 divided by 61.6.
5.5 on both sides. When you do it, what'd you guys get as your answer?
11.3. I mean 2.
11.2 what?
Meters.
Meters. Why not meters squared?
Because you're
Because we're not doing the area.
You're not finding the area, you're just finding the height. Excellent job. Give me 2 thumbs up if you got that answer correct. Nice work, guys. Okay, let's do one more example just like that. Is there anyone who feels comfortable enough to do this one for us? Kyla, try it out. What's my formula I need to start with?
A equals 1/2 times B times H.
Excellent. Do we know our area yet?
Yes, it's 202.5.
202.5 inches squared is correct. Okay, then we're going to drop down our half. Do we know our base?
It is 18.
18. Do we know our height?
No.
Not yet. Okay. Once again, drop down the equal sign. Is there any work I can do on the left side?
No.
There's not. So once again, drop that down for me. Is there any work that can be done on the right side?
Yes.
Yes. What is half of 18?
Nine.
9. Okay. Listen, once again, don't forget, what do I need to do with that h?
You have to bring it down.
I have to bring it down. Good job. Now I want to get the h by itself. So Kyla, what do I have to do?
You have to divide 9.
Good job. We're dividing by 9 because right here it was multiplying it by 9. This cancels out, and we know now our height is whatever this right here is. So just punch it in your calculator, and what comes out, Kyla? 22.5 inches is correct. Remember, once again, you're finding the height of that triangle, so you don't need to square it because it's not the area. I know that sometimes people are confused because they say, I am finding the area, but you're not. The area is already up there for you. You're simply finding the height of what that triangle would be. For this review problem, it's exactly what we talked about this past Friday. Find the perimeter and the area of the parallelogram. Because it asks for perimeter first, we're going to do the perimeter first. Help me out. What is the formula for finding perimeter of a parallelogram? Okay, perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. If you remember, a perimeter is measuring what? Is it the outside of it or the inside of it? Okay, you are basically just trying to figure out how long this right here is, just the outside. Remember, we think of it like a fence, okay? Because we're simply just trying to find the outside, this is what I saw a lot of people had a problem with. They were trying to use 6 feet as either the length or the width. I don't want to know anything about the inside of that parallelogram when finding perimeter. I'm just trying to find the outside. So if you accidentally made that mistake, I want you to erase it and fix it as we talk through it. What is my length here, guys? 7 feet. That is my length, okay? So I'm doing 2 times 7. This is what I saw on the test. Can someone tell me what is wrong with that right there?
It doesn't have like a parentheses.
It's not got parentheses. So it looks like you're just trying to do 27. If you put the parentheses, it helps you to understand you're doing 2 times 7, okay? Next up, plus 2 times, what's my width? 5. Once again, you're finding perimeter, the outside of the shape, so don't do what the height would be. So 2 times 5. Just the girls, what is 2 times 7?
14.
Ladies, what's 2 times 5?
10. Wait.
2 times 5? 10. Gentlemen, what's my perimeter?
24 feet.
24 feet. Should it be feet squared?
No.
Why not?
You're not finding the area.
You're not finding the area, you're just finding the outside perimeter, okay? Now, what we are doing, when we try to find the area of something, we're no longer trying to find the outside of it, we're trying to figure out how much space is in that whole figure right there, or that shape, okay? So guys, what is the perimeter, or the area for a parallelogram's formula? Area equals, what is it, guys? Base times height. Everyone say the formula together. Area equals base times height, okay? I'm trying to find the area, so drop that down. What's my base, guys? 7. What's my height?
6 feet.
6. Remember that height is always going to be what we have here that is forming the right angle inside the shape, okay? What is 7 times 6?
42
42 what?
square feet.
Okay, 42 feet squared or square feet. Was there anyone who got both the area and the perimeter correct? Excellent job. Okay, now remember, for your quiz on Monday, your goal is going to be to memorize these formulas. So start working through it, start memorizing them now. This is your homework for tonight, so go ahead and write this down, and then I'll give you a couple minutes to get started on that.